everybody, I'm Luxcana from Luxury Gaming, and we have a very special guest, our team member.
Hi, Mauratian.
Woo! Okay, and how did we do today?
Went up 17th.
That is amazing. 17th place, like wow. And what deck did we play?
I played a quack quack
Quack quack dog.
quack quack aggro deck.
Quack quack aggro. Okay, let's see it.
Okay, so this is a yellow purple aggro deck. Obviously has all of the core cards you would expect. So it has 4 Baby Maleficents. They're really good because they cost for 2. I do have 3 Chernobyls. A lot of people run 4, but there's some spice choices were made that we have to cut a little bit for. 3 Chernobyls. These cards are kind of nice when we start to get out of gas, and they can help replenish us. We also have some lighters in there, which we'll see later. We have Pascals. They're really good little questers. I wish I could find place for more, but I've really enjoyed them. They've helped me through the tournament.
When you have 2 characters in place, this has evasive.
Yes, exactly.
So it's hard to get rid of.
Exactly. 4 Befuddles. Befuddle is a very important card in a lot of matchups. Your best bet typically is like you do a 1-drop and then you do 2 1-drops, and if you can't do that, to play something strong around 1, you want to Befuddle. So having 4.
I also feel like it sets back the yellow steel player if you befuddle that Cinderella or Robin Hood.
Exactly. So let's get into like the red blue decks, but it's really get into like decks that are strong on round 1. 4 Lilos, so you have like the 3 Musketeers, Lilo, Daisy, and Maleficent. You really want to see those early game as much as possible. This deck typically has a window of questing and a window of gaining passive lore, and so these cards you want to get as much as possible in your early draw when your opponent has a hard time challenging them, so you can maximize your lore gain, and then later in the game you prefer to get your draw cards to replenish, or you prefer to get your passive lore cards. So we try to maximize the odds there with those really good cards. We obviously, as far as draw power is concerned, we have our 4 Chromicons. That kind of completes most of our draw package. I have 2 more cards that give me draw, and then obviously Piglet. Piglet is kind of like the plan B. In a lot of matchups, plan A would be like 1-drop, 2 more 1-drops that quest for 2. But a good plan B is a 1-drop that quests for 2 and a Piglet. And then we also have the Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom, which is our passive lore game.
Now, can we expand more on this passive lore game and the active lore game?
So the passive lore game is lore game that you don't have to quest for. It's maybe I just made up the term, but in essence, it's a burn spell or a card that burns. So like we have Gathering Knowledges. We'll go over the other cards that accomplish this, but this is one of the key cards in the deck. We have 1 Merlin. I probably would like to go up to 2 in a future iteration of the deck, but it's been really powerful for me to force some really good trades, and people don't expect it.
Well, because you're hyper aggro, you're not really trading.
Madam, well, sometimes you have to like slow down the clock, right? So, for instance, if let's say you're playing the red blue and they play a big Sisu, quest for 3, that can also potentially get a diamond, get another 3 lore in. Sometimes you have to slow down the clock to get to your burn spells to be able to end the game.
Okay.
We got a blue here. That's just another passive lore gain. It's not 100% this passive in the sense that it's a little bit slower. It doesn't happen straight away. Like you need to either self-challenge into somebody else to, let them be removed, banished from the board, or you need to, like be attacked into, in essence. Then we have a Donald Duck. This is kind of a semi-burn as well. It's not as immediate, but it's an extra 1 lore. I see each of these cards as resources, right, to get to your 20. And so I'm always like, whenever I make ink decisions or so on, I'm always like, okay, will inking this card get me to a pathway to 20, or should I keep it as a resource to end the game?
Okay.
We have 2 libraries.
Why only 2?
I have cut down on the brooms and the followers. I think they're much better when you have 4 of them. Bit of the challenge is that like the more I play the deck though is that I feel I'm already a little bit behind when I have to open with these guys early.
I agree.
And so then having to follow up with a library, I'm really kind of slowing myself significantly by having to play these cards later. So I much prefer. This is kind of like insurance for extra card draw.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I would keep them or not, but I do want to have like a. There were some games where I did have a little bit of like struggle with card draw. You know, for instance, like one of my games, like what I lost in the top 32, like he cruise-codes my Chromacon.
Oh.
And, you know,
you can't draw anymore.
That cut down my draw, which was very painful.
Ooh.
We have the 4 Merlin goats.
Mm-hmm.
That's a passive lore gain, which can. This is at a very minimum. This is a 2 lore card, potentially 3 to whatever. Like if you get the quest with it, it's a 3 lore card. Mm-hmm. It's very powerful. Rapunzel is one of the spice includes. I haven't gotten a lot of mileage out of it. I think it's because I haven't faced a lot of like steel decks.
Okay.
But I wanted to include this for steel. These 2 also Madam Mim for steel, just as an extra hedge. She trades extremely well. A 3/7 is very hard to deal with for steel. I haven't really been able to pull her off. I was able to get good value out of Madam Mim testing,
mm-hmm.
But here at the tournament, I didn't get a lot of value out of her. So, you know, but you have to go with what your testing says and, you know, try to make the best of it.
Of course. Now, do you have any shout-outs you would like to make?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a shout-out, of course, to our awesome team. You know, we practiced really hard together. Also to the many players that helped me prep for the tournament. Just to many to come, but you know we played countless matches against Stucky, against Zan, against you know Ravi, against Goose, against Coffin, against Attack for Chew, against Color's Love. The list goes on and on. We have a great testing pool. Shout out to Pavel for all the great work he's been doing with Flexible and Connect, and you know, to my wife for allowing me to let me come to the tournament and have me have my boys' time.
Your boys' time. Okay, thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe.